The Ages of Grief by Denise Hill for Psychology of Death and Dying for Spring 2019. We have different ways of coping with grief. We do not judge the way someone grieves. Just because they're not crying doesn't mean they're not devastated inside. Each age group may grieve in a different fashion. Their grieving may also be different in each person, depending on who the person is that has died. Children grieve differently depending on their age and which family member has died. Children from the ages of 3 to 5, when they have lost a parent, tend to sleep with the surviving parent, suck on their thumb, wet their beds, and have bad dreams. Children of ages 6 to 8 will talk freely about the parent that has died. They will say how they can feel their parent's presence and also talk to their deceased parent. Kids that are between the ages of 9 and 11 can become overwhelmed by grief. They do not like to talk about the dead individual at all. The kids that are between the ages of 12 and 14 know to avoid their feelings and the information about the deceased individual. The slightly older teens that are between the ages of 15 and 17 can become completely overwhelmed and may not be able to control their emotions. Men and women may react differently. Men may feel like they cannot cry, and the women may become over emotional. If the loss is of their child, it could destroy a marriage or bring them closer together. So, how do we help? How do we help the kids? How do we help the adults? When working with children, there are different types of things that can be encouraged or done to help the child with the grief. Tell them stories about the deceased one. Encourage the child to write down things, make a journal, write what they are feeling, do some drawing, or perhaps just listening to music. Adults who are grieving for a loved one, they will they can find a support system, either a group area or a personal one that they've grown themselves. And a lot of them will rely back upon their religion and their religious beliefs. So, a final thought: do not minimize the loss, but be there to listen. Grief does not go away with time, one just adjusts to the absence of the deceased person. And the reference was from Lemming and Dickinson from Understanding Dying, Death, and Bereavement, the 8th edition, published out of Stamford, Connecticut by Synergy Learning.